Hi everybody. I wanted to do another garden tour today. It's been just over a month since the last one I did and things have changed pretty drastically out here. I'm gonna bring you around, show you what we've got going on, and then show you something else that we're doing that's it's actually working really well for us with our limited sunlight that we're getting in our little back patio here. So let me show you what we've got. So this one last time we only had one of the lights, I believe, on, maybe two. Sherlock's saying hello. He's right here. So what I have done, you can see right here, these guys we've kind of just, honestly, I don't want to say I've given up on them, but kind of. I'm really wanting to get everything in this bed growing and done and out of it so that I can, add some additional compost to it. And I really want to be able to get it ready for all of my spring planting. So that being said, I kind of didn't put a light on this one right-hand corner here. I really wanted to focus the light on getting these carrots going. I planted them a really long time ago and they basically did nothing for months. And then all of a sudden I put these grow lights on them and they have like the best little sprouts. In fact, I'm actually gonna harvest them today. Steve teases me because I say I'm gonna harvest in my backyard garden and I literally have like 2 carrots, but 2 carrots is better than none, so we'll go with that. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to show you my kale and my carrots. So these were those kales that we kind of just let go. This one is pretty big and healthy. In fact, these leaves on it are ready to be kind of harvested off for a salad. This one right here, same thing. And then on to my pride and joy, my carrots. Do you see all these little bits here? We had a few like long sprout branches, I guess, off of it for a while, but they really weren't doing anything. And you can see both of these. These look white because I put diatomaceous earth out here. But they have some really, really good little sprouts coming up on them. And today is a happy day because I get to actually pick them. I'm just gonna grab my carrot here, down around the base, and slowly wiggle them out. Whoa. As you can tell, I am not the best gardener. They look beautiful at the top, right? Nice, full leaves, growing. Even the tops of them look good. And then they're like literally this long. Like maybe, I don't know if you can see that. It's like the nubbiest little baby carrot I've ever seen in my life. So I guess I won't be using those for dinner tonight. I'm gonna have to go to the store. So obviously I'm not a carrot farmer, and I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited. The tops of them looked like they were getting really like full and they were growing really well, and apparently they weren't. But the good news is now that I've gotten the carrots, I don't even want to call them carrots, the stumps harvested, they're literally gonna be like a bite. I'm gonna eat them though because I grew them. So now on to something a little bit less disappointing. Let me show you what we've got going on in the salad bowl. It's super full. I do need to probably trim back some of these or thin them out just because they're gonna start competing. Because we don't get really good sunlight out here, I am relying on these GE grow lights, and they're working really well. Obviously you can see that I'm getting a lot of growth in this little salad bowl here. There's a lot going on, and like some of these little leaves are getting ready. Like you can see right here, some of them are getting ready to start trimming off to make like a little baby greens salad or put on a sandwich or something like that. But they are stretching for the light. So these were actually spread out and planted more along the perimeter than they currently are. They're all kind of growing towards the center. They do need to be thinned out a little bit, but they actually probably not quite as bad as they look, only because the way that they're growing. They're growing all of them on an angle right now because they're stretching to get to that light. So then next, the other thing I was going to show you is our lemon tree here. We have only 2 lemons left. We got 5 total this year. And I'm actually gonna do a video, I think either today or tomorrow, on trimming it back. I learned quite a bit in the last few weeks or so about actually like trimming down and trimming back my lemon tree. We went to a garden center and they had a Meyer lemon, dwarf Meyer lemon, just like we did, same, like a similar size pot. And this lemon tree was just dripping with lemons. And we only got 5. And our tree's a couple years old now. We've had it for about 2.5 years. And so we were thinking that we might get a little bit more than we did this year. But what I did learn is that by trimming it back a little bit, by pruning back my tree, it's going to encourage more growth. It seems kind of funny, if you cut it back, you'll get more yield, but potentially, hopefully, if we trim it back, we'll actually kind of stimulate more growth to occur, and we'll hopefully get more lemons this year, or this next year. Okay, and so the next little bit here, sorry, I'm gonna move you, that we have, you can see our celery. I have these lights pretty close. If you're looking, wondering why they're so darn close, it's because they need to be within these specific lights that I have. They're not a very high wattage. I think they're only like 9 watts. And so with that, they need to be pretty close to the actual plants. I think on the box it even recommends having them within 6 to 8 inches. So I do have them pretty close to my plants, and that would be why. I think moving forward, if I were to purchase more of these, I would find they do have some of the GE lights that are the grow lights, that are a stronger wattage. I think they have like a 32, and those, looking back, I wish that I would have purchased those, because it would have allowed, because the lights are stronger, there's more energy coming out of them, they'd be able to reach more of my plants, and I can keep them at a farther distance, like at 18 inches or so. So that would make quite a bit of a difference with these plants. So my celery is growing. It's doing pretty well. It was not doing so hot for a while, but now we've got the grow light on it, and I'm getting some new growth coming. And then these guys, actually I can't believe that this little guy right here is doing anything. This is a beet that I had started in one of these cups right here. I had these cups, and I had seen somebody somewhere on YouTube that was starting their seeds in these plastic cups, and so I did a whole bunch, and I got a bunch of germination. But again, because of the light, do you like all my mess back here? Don't judge me. So I've got the 2 garlics and an onion left, and then we're just kind of seeing how those guys turn out. And then this bed over here is empty, and what we've done is, you can see, I don't know if you can see that difference. This bed, when we planted it, we put the soil in so low. There's like a good 6 inches between the bottom of the soil and the top of the planter. And I realized that having the plants up a little bit higher not only would allow for better root growth, right? There'd be more depth to grow. It also would bring the plants up higher and closer to the sunlight when we do get sunlight back here. And so what I did in this bed, you can see kind of the difference. It's hard to tell the difference here, but this is only about, I don't know, maybe like 2 to 3 inches below the top, where the other is like 6 inches. So we've just been adding compost to it regularly. And I'm going to actually add a little bit more like soil and compost to this before we plant it. But right now I'm just kind of letting the bed rest, and we have a lot of worms in it, and we've been, like I said, adding our compost to it, so it's giving them a lot of stuff to break down, which will hopefully make this soil really nutrient dense, which will hopefully in turn give us a really good garden. And the only other thing I was going to show you all is what we like to laugh and joke and call our crop rotation. So again, not having any sunlight out here, you can see, right over here, right over here is where our winter tomato normally is at, and it's not there. And the reason for that is that we've been taking it out in the front of our apartment. Every morning we bring it out. We've noticed that we get a lot of sunshine in the front in the mornings. And then in that, like the mid-afternoon, it kind of switches. So what we do every morning, this is ridiculous, but you'll see how much more sunlight it gets. So every morning we bring our little tomato out here, and you can see he's in the sun right now, but it's kind of dying off, and it's about like 1-ish in the afternoon. And if I come over here, you can see that there's a ton of sunshine like right over here. So that's what we do, is we pick up the tomato and we move him over here now to the sunshine. What we're noticing when we come on here is that our little tomatoes are finally starting to get a little bit of color to them. This one's still pretty green, but this guy is starting to turn. So pretty excited about that. And there's tons and tons of flowers. So we're hoping that some of these guys give us some more tomatoes on here if we're lucky. And then this afternoon or this evening, probably around like 4:30, I'll bring the tomato back out onto the patio, out in the back. And when I do that, he'll get another like 2 hours or so. So we get it from about 9 to noon, 9 to 12:30 on the first bit of the patio. So we're getting about like 3.5 hours there. And then I can move him over to where I just put him. And that will give him another it will give my little tomato like 2 or 3 extra hours in the sunlight there. And then I could put it back out on the patio and again in the afternoon, and we get a few more. So it ends up getting about like 7-ish hours of actual sunlight in the day, which has made just a tremendous difference in our growth. You know, those grow lights are good, but they just can't compare with the actual sun, right? And that makes sense. But yeah, so that's our crop rotation, as we like to call it. I'm probably gonna take some pictures of my little carrot nubs and post this on Instagram. I am so disappointed with how itty bitty those are and how they turned out. But anywho, yeah, thank you for joining me. Get some better lighting here and let the cat in. But thank you for joining me. Thanks for checking out my little garden. I know it's silly for a lot of you, for most of you, but you know, for me, it's something that I love, and it's something that I'm learning, right? And so, you know, I could sit here and pretend that I know everything, and obviously I don't. And I'm just kind of sharing what I'm doing, and hopefully, you know, obviously I'm not here to teach anybody how to garden, because I can't even grow a darn carrot more than 1/4 of an inch long. But, you know, hopefully I can inspire more people to get out there and try, because obviously I'm making, you know, a gazillion little mistakes here and there, but I'm learning along the way. And I hope, you know, hopefully one day I will have an awesome garden where I'm growing just tons of delicious, you know, healthy food. But for right now, you know, it's a process, and we're figuring it out as we go. So anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Take care, everybody.